allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you everyone for coming in this balmy weather. Roll call, please.
Mayor Barbara Yaffee.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Bob Tanis.
Here.
Commissioner Tom Blount.
Here.
Commissioner Stu Davis.
Here.
Commissioner Joe DeLuca.
Here.
Commissioner Al Ramirez.
Present.
Commissioner Luke Stempien.
Here.
City Manager Craig Morton.
Here.
Interim Police Chief Charles Rushton.
Here.
CDA Director Chuck Bennett.
Here.
And Plunkett County Attorney Audrey Forbush is running a little bit late.
Great, thank you. So we have a couple additions to the agenda. One is going to be under 9B, which is going to be in regards to the NIA applications. Actually, I guess that's the only addition. I think that's actually the only addition to the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the NIA applications to 9B.
I'll support it.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Oh, I'm sorry. You want just the whole agenda? Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you wanted that. Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as.
Support.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed, say nay. Okay. Passes. All right, we have the approval of the consent agenda items, including the minutes and approval of the bills. Does anybody have any questions for Craig?
I move we approve the consent agenda items, including the payment of $553,980.96.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Blount.
Yes.
Tanis.
Yes.
Stempien.
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
DeLuca.
Yes.
Yaffee.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have citizen from the floor. Would anyone like to speak? No?
Don Stokes, 6700 Maryland. I just looked at the agenda. Luke asked at the last meeting. Joe DeLuca has asked a couple times to have the 5-minute question for you guys to vote on. And for some reason, it just does not seem to be making the agenda. Can that be added tonight? And can you guys discuss it and maybe move forward with it? Because it's kind of ignored long enough, so can you please try to bump it to the 5 minutes if you guys all agree?
So actually, I don't usually respond to citizens from the floor, but I will make an exception tonight. So actually, we have looked at that issue, and it's within the discretion of the mayor as to what the time limit is. And
So
obviously,
what are your thoughts?
we have been using 3 minutes, which I obviously have, if people want to continue their thought, then I can let them do that. I believe that what's probably appropriate is if we have a contentious issue. And we've had a number of them, say in the last 6 months, 9 months, where we've had a lot of public people here who wanted to speak. And
So you're overruling our
hold
commission?
on. So my point is that what my decision is that
Okay.
in the event that we have one of those kind of meetings, then I certainly will be willing to extend it to 5 minutes, maybe even more. But in general, I think 3 minutes is appropriate. So that's actually what the answer is to that.
So is there somewhere I can find where it says that you make the decision for our elected members?
The city actually looked at that issue. I was gone,
Oh, but you just said you.
No.
Okay.
I said we had looked, and the city had looked at that. I was gone, and I was out sick last week. So, but that is what.
Are our commission board members okay with this?
Okay, so thank you for your comments, but and like I said, I don't usually answer. I don't want to do back and forth here, but I thought at this point I would explain it. So, is there anything else?
Yes, can I ask the commission board members that we elected in, are you guys okay with this? Or
This is not a situation which is a back and forth. It's not. This is for your time, for you to tell us what you think. And
So
so,
the decision to the citizens, I'm going to relay to the citizens of the town, is that your decision is that it's not to be changed to 5 minutes.
I will change it under my discretion when it's needed to be. In general, I think 3 minutes is appropriate as far as people being able to get across whatever their thoughts are. And that, I think if you have a comment or concern, most of the time people can probably do that in 3 minutes. But like I said, I allow people to have some in my discretion. If you want to finish the thought or whatever, and if there's a big issue, then I certainly will look at that.
Okay, well, I'll probably be down at the office this week. I'd like to see where this is stated, that it overrides our elected officials. So I'll be able to I'd like to see where this is stated, that she makes the decision over our elected officials.
We've had this discussion before, I think. I don't see any issue with the 5 minutes. Luke brought it up last week, Joe brought it up before. So
Yes.
I don't know what the big deal is about extending 2 minutes. And it shouldn't be a debate. It should be something we, as a commission, should be able to say, hey, you know what? Let's give the public another couple minutes. It's not a big deal.
I understand your concern, but that's what I understand, that according to what our research is, it's supposed to be the discretion of the mayor. So that's what we are.
What research is that?
Like I said, I was out sick last week. You can still hear it in my voice. So I exactly know what that is, but I thought I would address Mr. Deutsch's concern. So, is there anyone else who would like to speak?
Madam Mayor, could I just interrupt real quick? I'm under the same, I would concur with other commissioners on the same issue. In fact, some months ago, I brought up the same issue. And I would probably say we have a general consensus of the commission to move from 3 minutes to 5 minutes. It seems like when the audience speaks, I mean, it's on issues that they want to be heard on. And 5 minutes is definitely very reasonable inside of this. And like I said, everybody here, and I'm just speaking out loud, I would probably say most people agree that 5 minutes is reasonable inside of
Question,
that. Yes.
can we add 5 minutes at the end of this meeting for that? To be done with it?
I'm sorry.
Can we add 5 minutes open session at the end of this meeting for discussion? At the end of this, sometime at the end of the meeting.
Well, no, it's not a back and forth discussion. So, I mean, the commissioners certainly can express their opinions. So, and if anyone wants to talk to me about it, they certainly can. But that's my understanding, is that it's the mayor's discretion. So I don't have a problem with doing that. And we have, issues that are contentious that people need more time. I'm certainly going to be willing to do that. But for the time being, that's what I would like to do. I don't want these meetings to turn into meetings that last 5 hours. There's other municipalities that I know of that their meetings go until 3 o'clock in the morning. I just don't think that that's anything that would be worthwhile here. And so I think it's reasonable to have limits. Most municipalities do 3 minutes. I'm certainly willing to do 5 if it's a contentious issue. So, but at this point, we need to move on.
He can do that at the end of another 3 minutes at the end of this meeting then.
You can certainly say in your commissioner time whatever you would like, obviously.
No, I say, we're giving the public a free time at the end of this meeting again.
Yeah, there's the other citizens from the floor is number 11.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so guest speaker, do we have a guest speaker? Okay, all right. So, we have as far as a department head, specifically?
He's not here as a department head. We don't have a department head either.
Okay, all right. So moving on to unfinished business, 9A, city-owned properties. I understand that our DDA director has a report.
Yes, now you get to talk to me. All right. So So the first time I was here, I didn't have much to say, because I was only here for a couple of weeks, so now I got lots. So, talking about the community center update, which you guys have been getting on the regular, I thought I would take this one, as I've been taking a big interest in the community center, because it's in the DDA district, and I believe I can do a lot with that building. So, I've kind of been amped up about it, and pretty excited about it. So, after the Greenville Market, I asked if we could do just a group meeting brainstorming session in January, which we had on the 14th, to keep the momentum of the building going, talk about everything that's going on with the building and figure out what's next, where we're at, start laying things out. So we had that on the 14th. Really productive. I thank everybody for coming. Dave, thanks for coming. So we discussed some of the things we worked on was the naming rights of the building. So they've kicked around ideas of different groups of like, oh, could you get a large sponsor? And then maybe it's the, I don't know, business name, community center, and they contribute a good amount of money. Is that a way to raise money for the building? Could we do a donor board if people wanted to donate? So throwing all ideas. Our DPW supervisor, Ed, did a great job. The initial rough quote we got to do a paved parking lot over there with that elevation change and no drainage was $420,000 was the initial. That ain't gonna fly. So we asked Ed to go back to the drawing board after the engineers told us that, and he figured out if we did limestone, started off with that, put this storm sewer in, made adjustments to the parking lot, we could have a serviceable working parking lot for right around $68,000. And then we wouldn't be going backwards because you need to have that limestone base to pave over it. So at some point, when we have the funds to get the grant to do so. So that was good news. Then the conversation is, so what I want to know is, so I can plan, was, where are we at the project so far? How much have we spent? How much is needing to go? So I know if we need to do grant work or not. So right now, to date, we've spent $186,000 out of the $200,000. So we have $14,000 left to go. So the general thought of the group is, let's pump the brakes here before we hit $200,000, because there's still some things in the building we have to do. So the next thing we talked about is trying to see the future is who's going to oversee this building. And instead of just kind of hanging out there, is it going to be the city's responsibility? DDA. Who's going to fill it? Who's going to run the programming for it? So that was a good conversation. One of the ideas that we had was I offered, through the conversation, I'd be game to find out programs, keep it full, and do something between the DDA and the city to get this thing ran, filled, and working. So good conversation. So some of the reasons, though, the building isn't going to be 100% done for what we initially thought. So we had barn steel was going through the roof through the whole period of time. So we made some adjustments with the quantities of barn steel we're using. Some unforeseen costs that I'm still working on. Detroit Edison. So they had to remove a pole that was right in front of the building. They had to put the service line underground. They had to do a bunch of work that we didn't anticipate when it was originally bid. Consumers, the same thing. Consumers will not use the gas line that's there, even though it's probably more than fine. They don't even test it. It's 10 years old. They want to run a new gas line, and they get to say yes. That's the only way we're getting gas. So I've been in contact with consumers. We've done the paperwork to get that gas line installed so we can finish up the heating and cooling. So there was some necessary upgrades found during the construction. So I did not realize this because it looks really good, but there was actually a height difference of 1.5 inches between the east and the west side of the building on the roof. And all that had to be worked in with trim, and nothing was square this way or this way. So that caused complications. Apparently the building was built in 2 sections. Also, the trusses, when digging into it, were old enough to the point where there is no load rating. So when there's no load rating, you can't, put the ceiling on there and then put all the spray insulation on them because we don't know how much they can hold. So it was sprayed on the roof instead, which took a little more insulation, probably better. Some improvements that have been made along the way to make sure that the building, we're not working backwards on the building in the future. So one of the things that was talked about a while back is initially it was quoted to have 100,000 BTU, 200,000 BTU furnaces. For the price difference, it was opted to go to the 150 BTU to make sure that the building is building also has been pre-wired for the security cameras inside and out. So that came up during the construction. Should we pre-wire this? Should we not pre-wire this? So instead, the camera company is coming back to give a quote, but we didn't want to be charged extra later to have to tear stuff all apart. So we went ahead, they already wired it. That's done. Ceiling fans. If you go in the building, there's 3 large ceiling fans to push the heat down further. So that way we're not losing any heat. So that's going to add to the efficiency of the building. So instead of the steel, from my notes, going all the way up the walls due to the price of steel, now it looks like going 4 foot up, and the rest will be drywall up. To try to conserve a little bit there as well, but also keep the look that we want to make it look nice for weddings and venues and anything like that. If we look at the building, the initial plan didn't have extra overhead doors or entry doors. There's only 1 entry door and 1 garage, 1 or 2 garage doors. So those were added to make the event center more usable. And additional electrical outlets were installed. So Bob actually came to me a while back, what are we looking to do with this building? Well, we're looking to have events. If we're having Pringle Market, I want to have outlets that people plug in. If we're having a wedding, you want to have enough outlets for crock pots or food or catering or anything like that. So we put a few extra outlets in. So those are some of the changes we found along the way to try and not work backwards. So that's where we're at right now. But yes, there is going to be a shortcoming. So some of the questions is, A, how can I help by looking for grants, looking for donors? And that's kind of where the conversation is right now is, what's next? What do we do next? And how do we get there? So that's the update.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
So this meeting that we had, which we had folks from every different part of this program, as the DDA, as well as the city and Parks and Rec, because this is now considered to be Parks and Rec as well. So we had the meeting and determined that given what's still left to do, which is that complete all the electrical, complete all the plumbing, and have everything. So there was lighting that was put up on the outside, which was not originally contemplated as well.
Additional lighting for safety concerns, yeah.
Right. And so what it was determined was that, and I should say this, Consumers Power, we have to pay Consumers Power about $3,000 for them to run this new line. So we have figured out that we think to get the entire building completely finished so that it can be used for everything we're looking for is going to cost about an extra $50,000. So the total then would be $250,000. So what I'm asking the board to do is to consider that if this board would put in an additional $25,000, and if the DDA will put in an additional $25,000, then we can completely finish this building to be able to have it be exactly what we want. So that's my ask, if you will. So I don't know if there's a motion out there.
How much would it cost us if we had to build that building from scratch? Roughly?
I would bet to say with the concrete and everything, you're looking well over $300,000.
How much?
Over $300,000 to start from scratch.
So it's going to cost us about $225 to do it that way. So if we,
Is there a motion? So we can move forward with this.
I guess we might have a motion to spend all that money already. So moved.
Okay, so is your motion that
Yes.
the city would commit to an additional
Yes,
$25,000
yes, we
to
would
finish?
contribute if the county, if they would contribute the other money.
If the DDA would contribute $25,000. Okay. Is there a second?
Just real quick, I would just like to see a punch list of what we're getting for this other amount of money first, before I would vote on something. I want to see itemized list of everything that's going to go into this building for this $50,000. Because 25 is coming from DEA, 25,000 from us. But for me to make an informed decision and a vote, this is something I would like in front of me to say, okay, we're going to pay X amount of dollars for exterior, and it's going towards drain, whatever, we're gonna pay another, how much money on the interior for whatever the purpose is gonna be. So if by chance, like I said, I would want to just defer this vote to the next meeting until we have something like that in front of us, so we can go, yes, this, and this.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of things as far as we're not gonna go all the way up with steel. I get that. I know it would cost a whole lot more to build it new, but that's not what we went into. So I think an estimate, an itemized list of what we're getting, does that mean that the drywall is included in that? Does that mean that it's 4 feet on the steel? Are we putting anything extra into it? I think.
And that would be a problem, I can take the notes from the meeting and
Yeah.
I can itemize that, that's not a problem.
Yeah, itemize that, then where's the money coming from? What line is it coming from?
We've got a couple different options. Again, we could take it out of the fund balance, and also, since it has recently been added to the Parks Plan, we typically have a capital budget in the Parks Plan that we haven't spent all of it yet, so it's possible we could get to 25,000 out of there. I haven't told Frank that yet, but.
No, that's fine. I'd like to know where it's coming from, but then also, I like the idea of the itemized list. It's like an estimate, that's all.
Yeah, and that's not a problem, because that was kind of my goal for the meeting, is to figure out what's left. So, if I need to, I can chase grants or do things like that nature. So yeah, I can work that up and type that up.
Yeah. So I guess I heard a couple numbers, and I'm not the smartest guy around, but it said 250, but we got 14 left. So does that mean we only need 36?
Right around there is really what we came up with, and then we're assuming that there's always a little more than extra.
Yeah, we just haven't itemized it at the next meeting, that way we can go over it as a commission.
Is that gonna hold anything up?
Well,
Probably.
probably,
It's only 2 weeks.
to be able to,
Or
keep
3.
moving, but,
Only two.
Yeah, I look at it, we're in a hole. Just get it over with. We've already blown $200,000.
I don't think it's blown.
Well, if you don't finish it, we did.
I think we can finish
If we
it
don't,
in 2 weeks.
that's the point. I want to finish it.
Yeah, and I would think everybody here would be in agreement with that.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that we're spending another X amount of dollars, and we want to see where our dollars and cents are going to.
I think you said it pretty much. Told us what our problems were.
Okay, but I can see itemized lists, that's what I'm telling you. And for me to make a better decision on something like this, this is something we need to see in front of us.
All right.
It's one thing if you're buying a car, you want to see everything inside of it, what you're getting for your money.
okay, so at this point, we have a motion, we do not have a second, but there's obviously a request for us to put it over to the next meeting, is that correct?
Yes.
Stu, would you agree with that? Because you
Fine,
remember.
yeah, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Move it over to the next meeting. And
Yeah, I'll take most of the notes we had as far as what needs to be done next, and I can put them in a punch list for.
Yeah, I don't think
Thanks,
there's
Chuck.
any objections to getting the building fixed the way we need it, because we'd like to have it, but too often we make motions before there's even any discussion.
Sure.
So we need to kind of slow down. And, yeah, an itemized list would be great.
Not a
And then we
problem.
move forward.
Not
So
a
Chuck,
problem.
before we go 2 weeks down the road, does that include the $58,000 for a serviceable parking lot?
No. So my plan with the parking lot,
So we won't even be able to use it?
the parking lot was never part of the original plan.
Right.
So even if we don't do the parking lot, we still have the parking lot next door and the Lamb Steel parking
Okay.
lot. Which, that
There's
actually.
some grant money out there for that?
Yes.
Okay,
So
thank you.
my plan is, since I started, is to chase grants for the parking lot, whether it's 68,000 or 200,000.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm actually really excited, just as a side note, I've talked to some of our businesses. For example, like Vanguard Sports Cars, like what can we do to bring a sports car show to town? He was excited, that's gonna help his business. He wants to be a big part of that. So for me, it gets the creative juices flowing. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, I can keep this going. So I'm happy to do a punch list. I'll be back in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, in the meantime, too, if you could explore, like you'd said, hey, can we get somebody to maybe buy some naming rights? If we could get this privately funded, this overage, that makes our job way easier.
Yeah, so we did come up with a template of, like, hey, this is what a donor board could look like, and what would the tiers be? And then we talked about, like, creating a pamphlet to go to larger corporate businesses about naming rights for the building. So we're also trying to, naming
which is the NIA. We had, as everyone knows, publicized this extensively, that we had applications for the NIA as well as the other boards. We only have one application at this point. And so therefore, we basically have two options, as I see it. One is to continue to look for other applicants and not do anything with it tonight. We talked extensively about the fact that we're going to go through applications tonight and hopefully name the NIA board. But we only have one application. So therefore, as I see it, we could just put this on down the road and ask for more applications. We've publicized it, we put it in the newspaper. We've done a lot of things to be able to try to get applications, and we have one. So the other option that some communities do is to basically just appoint the planning commission to be the NIA board. But at this point, you know, we have those two options because we said we were going to do this tonight, so I wanted to bring that up to everybody.
I won't have to down the road. I'd rather push it down the road, we only have one, but, I mean, Frank, it's always hard to get somebody on board, right? I've served on many of them.
I'm not involved in that, but if you go to the city offices,
Yeah.
I'm sure that they will point you in the right
Nobody's seen it
direction.
posted.
It's not on the web,
It's not on the website.
it's not on the website, that's
Well, I know we announced it at one of our meetings that the application.
Announced it a lot.
Well, let's just let everybody know here tonight, applications are ready, they can come to the city during business hours, right? See Dawn or anybody, who could they see up front?
Anybody up from?
And
Okay.
the applications are on the website.
They're on the webpage, and the
you can-
applications are on the
You can also
webpage.
live in a township and do it.
What's that?
It's not restricted strictly to city residents. We can take some people from the township,
We can,
yes. we
right,
can.
yeah.
No, it's been on the website, I know, since at least the end of December. So it's been there. I found it, I just Googled it and found it, so it's there.
You mean just the application itself for city, parks, rec, all that stuff?
All of the boards.
Yeah, but
All
the NIA is brand new, so it couldn't be on since the summer.
No, I mean, the NIA was added in December after,
Right.
after we
Right.
approved the NIA. So it is also one of the boards that's on there, and it's been there since December, but that's okay. So
Yeah.
the
And how
thought
many
is,
do we prefer to have it? Is it 5, 7?
it's 7.
7. Well, everybody out there?
Yeah, so it's just to have some, I guess, finality on that, I would move that we move the discussion and ultimate selection of NIA applicants to the February 17th meeting. We can rehash it then if we have more or enough, then maybe we can discuss it then.
We don't actually even need a motion. I mean, it was just, this was information only, just because we had announced that was what we were going to do this meeting.
Okay.
So, we don't actually need a motion. We can just decide that we're going to put it on the next agenda, which is fine.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, all right. We do not have any new business, right? Am I correct about that?
That's correct.
Citizens from the floor, please. Anyone else would like to speak?
It is far.
Um,
I did not found it.
I just did some quick Googling myself regarding the 3 or 5 minute comment session for citizens from the floor. There is nothing stated in our current city charter.
Hold on, Mindy. Mr. Dembski?
Sorry.
Thank you.
There's nothing stated in our current city charter regarding a time limit. We also do have a public participation plan amended or adopted by the city commission, which is according to Open Meeting Act, where a time limit would be stated. There's not a time limit there either. From my understanding, from everything that I just very quickly Googled, it would take a simple resolution from the commission board to adopt a 5-minute time limit. That's it. Also, regarding the NIA applications, on the website, the application is there. There is no call out that this is a new position. There is no posting on it on any of the city's social media, so a large majority of the community that does not get their information from the newspaper or the 12 of us that show up to these meetings have no idea. There has not been a very good outreach to the community to fill this position. Sorry, maybe 180 Walker Street.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. At this point, we do need, I'm sorry, what?
I'd like to bring something up.
Well, let's do that at Commissioner turn.
Ready to say?
At this point, we do need a closed session, so, we need,
Here to come.
sorry?
Is our lawyer here to him?
Yes. And so we need a motion.
I make a motion to recess us into closed session, consider attorney-client privileged communication pursuant to section 8 of the Open Meetings Act.
At 7:30.
7:30.
Steffian?
Yes.
Cannis?
Yes.
Knopf? Davis?
I think they are going to make a move.
Thanks for not kicking me
Say
out.
yes to
Have a
go
great
to
day.
closed session.
Bye now.
Correct, John.
Say yes to go to closed session.
Yes.
As long as it doesn't record anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
DeLuca?